Hi everyone, I'm Katie Quinn. I'm a video creator, cookbook author, and I'm showing you around my favorite destinations in the UK. So I moved to London from New York City a couple years back and have been loving exploring. Right now, we're in northern England, in Yorkshire. This is the city of Leeds. It's old, it's beautiful, but there is so much going on here, so I'm gonna show you around. And first, I'm gonna take you to meet baker extraordinaire and my buddy, Ed Kimber. Hi, Ed. So good to see you.
To see you too.
You know, we usually see each other in London, but here we are in Yorkshire.
Very excited to show you my neighborhood, my home area, and I'm still always in Northern at heart. We're very warm, friendly people.
Even though the weather has been not entirely perfect,
It's very cold right now.
it's still beautiful.
It's a big area for the Industrial Revolution, and you see mills and warehousing, and so the cities have kind of redeveloped around them, and I think Yorkshire does it really, really well. It really respects its history and its traditions.
Is there a cultural activity that you really love?
Leeds has a lot of cultural things you can visit, like the Corn Exchange, which is this huge round building, and there used to be offices that would line the outside of the building, and they've now turned them into small shops. There's a shop that is the Yorkshire shop, and they sell all sorts of things made in Yorkshire.
Where do you go for a nightcap?
So Leeds is definitely a beer city. You can basically stumble on amazing bars selling local, really interesting beer.
So this is our house beer, Kirkstall Brewery's Nat Bar hops that they brew just down the road, 5 minutes down the road. Really nice hoppy beer that they brew just for Stu and Iceland.
So the thing that I think of when I think of Yorkshire, of course, is Yorkshire pudding.
Of course.
And the thing is, like, Yorkshire pudding makes no sense to me.
What is a pudding to an American versus the UK? And so, to my mind, the word pudding is basically anything you can have for dessert, whereas obviously to Americans, pudding is a weird custard, which is why Yorkshire pudding makes no sense. It's really something generally you would have at home with a roast dinner.
That's whenever I've had it.
Let's just kind of ignore the fact that it's not a pudding.
I feel like we should have some Yorkshire pudding while we're in Yorkshire.
I will show you Yorkshire puddings, but I also want to take you to something that really kind of shows off Leeds and its food scene as it is today. So we go to my friend's bakery, which is Noisette Bakehouse, which is inside North Star Coffee, which is another real symbol of Leeds food culture. And whilst we're there, I'll make you some Yorkshire puddings.
What does it mean to you to be from Yorkshire?
Oh, well, I think it means everything, really. There's so many different communities here and cultures. So you're Yorkshire and you know that that's where you're from, but then you grow up experiencing all these other great cultures that are around you within Yorkshire, and that continues to form your life and the person that you are.
What is Yorkshire nostalgia? What does that mean?
It just means really great home baking, cookies and biscuits and things like that. That's kind of what I wanted to create with Noisette Bakehouse, but with a lot more global influence in terms of flavours and interpretation.
So, growing up in Yorkshire, you must have grown up with Yorkshire pudding.
Yes, absolutely. Yorkshire loves gravy. And if you can have a vessel that holds like a cup full of gravy on your plate at a meal, then why would you not want that? So I think Ed's in the kitchen.
That was very hot.
I think we better go check on him, make sure he's not, causing any mess.
So the first thing we need to do is add about a tablespoon of oil to each depression in the mould, because we need to get that nice and hot so that when we add our batter, it becomes super bubbly and they puff up. So the great thing about this method is it's not really a recipe, it's just a size. So I'm going to use a coffee cup. All we're going to do is break 4 eggs into our cup. So now we're going to do flour. Fill to the same basic level, add that to our eggs, milk, but this time we're only going to add half of it to the bowl because we want to be able to whisk it so there's no lumps, and if we add all of the milk, it's harder to get the lumps out. And then we can add in the rest of the milk. And then the last thing, salt. So this is where we have to work quickly. We want to fill them about halfway up. You see that bubbling? That's the sign we're going to get really good Yorkshires. You bake them for 25 minutes. Don't open the door, otherwise they won't rise properly and they'll collapse. But after 25 minutes, we can take them out and they are done.
It is smelling good in here.
came at the right time because we've just taken the Yorkshire puddings out of the oven. So these are taste of my childhood, taste of Yorkshire, and tradition at least.